But no matter what happens this season, whether we win the Champions League or not, this is the final season. Hello, welcome to Club 4, Part 12 of the Global Explorer. Coming up in today's episode, we do have our opening fixtures of hopefully this year's Champions League run all the way to the final. Those games will be coming up against Athletic Bilbao and Atletico Madrid, two Spanish teams, both at home, which does make it fairly easy. But since the start of the season, form hasn't been great-ish. Didn't have a great start to the season, getting a draw against Newcastle and a defeat against Fulham. Since then, got a little bit better against Brighton, which we did beat them 2-0. We are through to the next round of the Carabao Cup, successfully cruising past Crawley, 3-0 win, so that's a very good result. Then we did draw against QPR. That's not the best result because that's a game we should be winning. But like I said, I don't really care about the Premier League as long as we finish in a good place to leave Liverpool for next season. That's all I care about. Obviously, the main priority is trying to win that Champions League. We have just had transfer deadline day. I think we only just signed the one other player to replace signed Ragab, who's gone out on loan to Real San Sebastian. So in comes Georgi Masharatzi. He is a Georgian right back, 2.5 stars of current ability, 4 stars of potential. Good Premier League player, can potentially be a leading Premier League player. He comes in on loan for the rest of the season from PSG, and that's all the signings we've done. Because if you take a look at our budgets, pretty depleted, and that probably mainly was because we signed Alberto Barbero, who I haven't seen the best of him yet, but I'm sure he will get better throughout the season. So this is the lineup for our match against Bilbao. It is Hahn in goal, a back four of Yukini, Roberto, Moreno and Ross. Go ball at the base of the midfield, then ahead of him we've got Ungalima and Lacroix. Got Hermiche on the right, Barbero on the left, then we've got Essien up front. Come on lads, let's hopefully get a nice simple win to start our run to the Champions League final, which I don't know if we will win it because we didn't get to the final last year, albeit we did come up against Arsenal in the semi-finals. If we had either Leverkusen or Brighton in the semi-finals, we probably would have been in the Champions League final. Whether we would have won it, we would never have found out because we never got to the finals, which is quite unfortunate. But hopefully it's different this year. Well, if judging by the way our Premier League form is going, I don't think we stand a chance of getting through to the final. But let's just see what happens. If we can just win all our Champions League games, if we can get a win here today, then the form might start getting better in the Premier League. Because at the moment, we're not in a great position. We're like mid-table, maybe not even mid-table, maybe in the bottom half. So it's not been going great. So I don't think we stand a chance of winning the Premier League. We're not at the moment. We don't. If we really look at the form, I think we've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 1. And we are 1-0 up against Athletic Bilbao. Jean Ungalima with this first goal of the game, and that is a very good start. If we can win these 2 opening games, because they are at home, and we definitely do have the home advantage, and those are the sort of games we should be winning, and that was a very easy goal. Like I said, I don't really care about the results in the Champions League or whereabouts we finish. As long as we finish inside the top 8, that's all I care about. Regardless of where we finish, whether it's 1 down to 8, it doesn't matter where we finish. I couldn't care less if we finish 5th. First would be preferable, but it doesn't really matter if you do finish top of the league phase. You don't really get anything for it unless you get like a buy through to the final, which is sort of how things should work. I mean, imagine if they did that. A buy through to the final if you finish top of the league phase. That would be absolutely crazy, but I don't think that would ever happen in real life. Amado has got the ball and Bilbao look to go on the attack in the hope of them getting an equaliser, but they didn't really create anything, and we look to go on the attack of ourselves. So Hermiche, lovely ball out to Barbero. Essien with the header, and how was that not cross the line? Not once but twice. That was very very unfortunate. We do definitely look like the better team, and hopefully, very soon, we will hopefully, most definitely get the second goal of the game. We've got barely 20 seconds left to go of the first half, so I don't think we're going to get another goal here unless Bilbao have other ideas, but they're slowly but surely running down the clock, and hopefully we can get a tackle in, and then the referee does blow the halftime whistle. So by all means, not the best first half, but we are 1-0 up. That's all that matters. As long as we're in the lead, I couldn't care less about the scoreline. As long as we get the 3 points, that is all that matters, regardless of what the score is at the end of the 90 minutes. As long as it's a win for the Liverpool, that's fine by me. Couldn't care less about how many goals we score. As long as we get the 3 points, that is all that matters in this final season with Liverpool, and hopefully we can try and get a second goal this game, because obviously a 1-0 lead it's not a comfortable advantage, because obviously if Bilbao get an equaliser here, the scores are back on level terms, and Medina does put the ball into the back of net to make it 1-0 with 35 minutes left to play. Obviously, we are on a balanced mentality. I don't really want to go to positive mentality, because we did last time we played against Bilbao. I'm fairly sure we lost against them. So a 1-1 draw in the first game of the league phase is probably a fair result, considering who we're up against. And this league phase, compared to the past couple seasons, not the easiest. Mostly some difficult games like this one at Madrid, and there's some easy games. I don't know who the easy games are, and Sergio Ross has appeared to be giving away a penalty, so it's not ideal, but hopefully he dived. But no, he didn't. A penalty has been awarded. A chance for Han to save the game. Come on, Nieto steps up for Bilbao. Come on, Han, be the hero. You're not a hero in the league phase, but he does dive in the right direction, but Nieto does slot it into the bottom left hand corner to make it 2-1 to Athletic Bilbao, and that's not a great. It's not. He didn't really make any. Did he actually get near it? I know he dived the right way. Yeah, he didn't really get anywhere near it. How tall is he, Han? Is he? I do hope he is 6'2", so he could have done a little bit better. But 20 minutes left to go. We are going to make a couple of changes. Hamouche is going to make way for Pashuti. Essien is actually not tired, which is quite surprising, because everyone else on the pitch, apart from the goalkeeper, Roberto as well. I don't know why that is. Maybe they're not working hard enough, I'm going to presume. Angalima is going to make way for Schufs. No, not Schufs, Kushma. But Schufs is going to come off for Goebel as well. And I think that would be the final changes we shall do for now. 20 minutes left to go. Obviously, 2-1 down. Let's go to a positive mentality in the hope we can get a equalising goal. 10 minutes left to go. Let's drop. Did I just tell them to calm down? I think I did. I might have lost the changing room after that. But hopefully we can still get an equaliser, even after I told them to calm down, which might help not. Yeah, I don't think it will help. Yakini is going to make way for Sergio. Obviously, Georgie, the new right back, has unfortunately, I think he's been suspended. Don't know how, don't know why. But Sergio's coming on at right back, and I think we'll get on Giorgio Antonio now for Essien, who is starting to tire a little bit. Couple minutes left to go, but is it too late? It might end in a 2-1 defeat. Hopefully we can get a last minute equaliser. We don't, and unfortunately it does end in a down defeat, which is it's quite disappointing, considering the fact we were 1-0 up and didn't really look like scoring a second goal. We came close a few times, but the second half, yeah, we weren't good enough. That's all I can say about it. We just weren't good enough in the second half. We can't be good in the first half and just absolutely dross in the second. We need to be clinical in both halves if we want to get any form of win. So hopefully the next match against Aston Villa should be a win, and will start pushing us up the table, because at the moment we're 11th. I kind of want to leave Liverpool in the top half, at least in the Champions League spots at the end of the season. So if we can win that game, that is That would be absolutely fantastic. Then hopefully we get back to winning ways in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid. We are back, and I can't help but love just beating teams at ease. We did get a win against Aston Villa 5-2 in the end, with the goals coming from Alberto Berbera who came with 2 goals, Stephen Essien with a goal, and an own goal, which thankfully is, I mean, it's an own goal. I couldn't care less who scored it or who didn't score it. It's still another goal at the end of the day. And Dominic Cushman with the 5th and final goal in that game. Yes, we conceded 2 goals. Yeah, we beat them 5-2 quite easily. So that does move us into 8th. Obviously, still only 5 points clear from, not 5 points clear from top. 5 points behind the top of the table. Arsenal, and obviously they're on level points with Everton, who somehow have become almost world class. It would matter with a couple of seasons, probably not a couple of seasons, probably 20 years of this save going on. They've become world class, which is absolutely insanity. So the lineup for our match against Atletico Madrid, it is Hard in goal, a back four of Yukini, Sergio, Roberto, and Ross. Gober at the base of the midfield, then ahead of him we've got Ungalima and Lacroix, Hamouche on the right, Barbero on the left, then we've got Essien up front. Come on, lads, let's hopefully get our first win in the Champions League. Obviously, after that defeat against Bilbao, we need to hopefully get our first 3 points. Otherwise, this might be an interesting league phase, because if we don't get the win here, it certainly makes making the top 8 a little more interesting and a little bit harder, because we do need to get at least, I'd say, minimum 5 wins in order to try and get a top 8 finish. Obviously, if we don't get that, if we don't win this game and the next game, I'm sure we'll win the next Champions League game, because that is against Wolfsburg, so that's a little bit of an easier tie. But if we do need to, at least at the bare minimum, just get a point, because Madrid, they're not an easy team. They're by no means not better than Real Madrid, but let's hopefully we can just get a decent result against them. And Essien puts the ball into the back of the net to make it 1-0, albeit it might be chalked off for offside. But let's see what VAR says. Goal has been disallowed. How tight was that? That looked very tight. Didn't look offside, but he might be way off, and I might just be a little bit biased. Yeah, that's definitely offside. Definitely off. Not really that tight. It was fairly clear and obvious that it was going to be disallowed. But 15 minutes into the game, it's a positive but not positive start, because that shot doesn't actually count as a shot on goal, which doesn't really make any sense, because it's still technically a shot, even though it is offside. But yeah, that's fairly unfortunate. But 20 minutes left to go of the first half. Apart from that disallowed goal, it's been a fairly boring first half, with Atletico Madrid having the only shot of the game so far. Barbero whips in a corner, Cadenas through to Ungalima. He has the shot, he puts the ball into the back of the net. Our first legitimate shot has gone into the back of the net. That is absolutely crazy. Barbero, a decent corner. If Sergio had risen at the near post, he probably would have got onto that. But Ungalima, with a brilliant finish, puts the ball into the back of the net. And now we've had 2 shots, 1 on target. Obviously, that 1 on target happened to be the goal. That's quite absurd. Nothing happened in that game up until that goal. Then all of a sudden, the shots coming in. 5 shots now, 2 on target. Atletico Madrid, 3 shots, 1 on target. And I'm hoping we can just hold it to 1-0 lead for as long as possible. Then, around the 70th minute, that's what I'm hoping for, we get a second goal and hopefully wrap up the game from there. But Madrid have got the ball. Atletico now on the attack, hurrying into the box. We're firing off the effort. Thankfully, it is just past the top left-hand corner, and Hard has the opportunity to whip upfield. Come on, that's a decent kick. It does fall. I don't know whose head it came off. If it came off Essien, that's quite unlucky, because nobody was on there. If it came off, it looked like it came off one of the midfielders, but it's a bit bit unlucky. Nobody was up there making a run. If Barbero had bags of pace, he does have bags of pace, but he's just a little bit shattered. But we are coming to the end of the first half. Hopefully, he rejuvenates him with some form of energy drink, maybe like a Lucasade or Prime. No, maybe not a Prime because that's absolutely horrible. Yeah. Hopefully, we can. Hopefully, the players will have a nice break and hopefully come out fully refreshed in time for the second half. If he's not refreshed. So most of them are, but there is a few players that are absolutely shattered. Those are Yukini, Goebel, and Barbero. That could be interesting by the 60th minute because I'm fairly sure that I think those three players will be the first players to come off, and that was a very poor pass. I think it was Barbero, and we will start to see a few mistakes from him as he gets absolutely shattered, and we do win a corner. Horror's going to find its way into the back of the net because it took a lot of deflections in the penalty box, but just couldn't quite make it in there. But hopefully, if we start having a few more chances and start putting some more shots on target, we will hopefully grab that second goal, which definitely will help us out to hopefully get the 3 points, which obviously in the previous Champions League game, we were 1-0 up, but just let it slip from there. Barbero is going to make way for Elias. Shoots will come on for Goebel, and Yukini is also going to make way for Shortshi Masharatsi for his debut. I think it's his debut. He might have played a couple of times already, but I think I'm fairly sure it's his debut in front of the camera, which I'd say that's a fair reflection. Yeah, that's definitely his debut today, or unless he played in the Carabao Cup game against Crawley, which I'm fairly sure he might have, but certainly it's his first Champions League game, and Toledo fires off the shot, and thankfully, once again, similar to the shot in the first half, just past the top corner, and hopefully that's the last shot they have, because it wasn't close, but I think if it was on target, Bertan might have got it there, but that remains to be seen. I think he knew it was going wide, that's why he didn't really make a big effort to try and save it. Sergio just getting the ball upfield, nobody up there, but it does clear any form of danger until Atletico Madrid get it down the side, and oh my god, that is some top class defending, but danger's not over yet, and thankfully another shot and another one that goes just over the top of the crossbar. We've got 10 minutes left to go. We are going to make a couple changes. Lacroix is going to make way for McFadden, and I think the final change will be Ross off for. We don't actually have a left back because we couldn't get him registered because we didn't have enough homegrown players, so that might be something we have to do in the January transfer window. Sign another, maybe an English left back. So Sergio's going to come off for Kasama. Final 10 minutes. We're chucking on a relatively unknown centre back. We're 1-0 lead for what could possibly go wrong. Hopefully we don't screw this up. Essien has got the ball. Lovely free kick. Just couldn't quite get it near enough to the far post. Couldn't quite get it over the top of the goalkeeper to make it a nice, easy header. Ross has got the ball. Let's put the ball into the box. That's a lovely cross, but just couldn't quite get the header of Essien on there. Hamushe and Galima, this is looking fairly positive. If he can make the right passes, that might have been a goal, and I'm going to purely put that down to inexperience from Georgie at right back, because if Hamushe was not tired, he probably would have made the run into the box, but it doesn't matter. We have won the game 1-0, not the best game, but it is against Atletico Madrid. They are a fairly difficult opposition to play against, so I'm happy we got the 3 points, and that hopefully should start pushing us up the table. I don't know where it officially puts us. Where does it put us? 18th, so still quite low, but obviously, as you can see, very, very tight. Obviously, a win, and we probably will go in the top 8, depending on what happens. So obviously, yeah, the next Champions League game is against Wolfsburger. That probably won't be coming up in the next episode. And then we'll play a whole bunch of games, try and get through at least most of the Champions League games, and I think I'm not really going to bother showing you too many Premier League games this season because I really just want to focus in on the Champions League. Unless we end up in a title fight by the end of the season, then we'll start focusing on the Premier League. But for now, we're just going to show Champions League games this season and a couple Premier League games here and there. So I think in the next episode, we'll definitely play our Champions League game against Juventus. Then we'll play our Premier League game against Manchester United. If you have enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more Daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.